Hey there, fellow travelers. Mark
And Jocelyn.
here with Walter's World. And today we're going to talk about some of the summer travel, what you need to know before you get started. And before we get too far along, I actually wanted to give something for the people that are watching the replay later. I'm making a video on this to put out probably next week, but to give you kind of a preview, I wanted to go through, some things that you really need to know before you really get into your summer travel plans, and just have some things in your head before we get started. But before I go do that, I'm going to give a few minutes. I want to say hi to some people on here. I see Lori's on here and Ryan.
And Francis and Scorpio.
Ryan's on there. Yep. Sarah B, good to see you. Hey,
Brian.
Terror. Brian
Nice
Smith.
Jose.
Yes. Oh, Brian, you're a lawyer, so of course you're always on time. Jose Gomez, good to see my friends. Rob from Trickhouse DC.
Mark Finley, hello.
Oh, the wonderful and talented Mark Finley's on here as well. I believe I saw Ronnie Dove and Scorpio Sue, like you said. Oh, Francis is in the house. Yeah. Good to see you. Yeah, when I put it up on StreamYard, the cool buttons don't show up. At least you all are seeing that out there. So good to see so many people out here. Alani's on.
Quinn, hello.
American
Alex.
I never get to see Walter's World live, so glad I'll be able to tonight. Awesome. And Alex was asking if that was Lake Bled. Yes, the thumbnail is Lake Bled that we start off with. So so just want to say good morning, good evening, good afternoon to everybody that's on here.
Are on. Hey,
the gals is on. Very nice. I had a tour customer on Monday who said they want me, Walter's World Trip Hacks content. They need more of that. Yes, Rob, we can do that because we were talking about something I think we should work on together.
Yeah. Is that a possibility this summer?
Well, we can always work together in the digital world, sweetheart.
Oh, well, there's that too.
To help out. No, Rusty Shackelford's in the house. Good to see you.
Hey, Rusty.
Court Bordner, is this live? I think so.
It is.
Watch. I'll annoy her and she'll hit me. And then we'll see.
And I'll say, shut up, Mark.
Yes, there you go.
And
so it all works out well.
Drink. I'm having water.
Yeah, well, she has to go pick up Mr. Caleb here in a bit. Oh, Joanne in San Antonio, my favorite town in Texas. I still have to put out our dunce in San Antonio, so you have to tell me if it's at least acceptable.
Mary Ellen, hello. It's nice to see you. Gosh, I feel like we're a year and a half ago, and we're seeing a lot of the same faces that started out this craziness with us.
I know, and it's nice to see that things are starting to finally open up a bit. So that's kind of nice to see that travel is a possibility now. I mean, it has been. I mean, we've been traveling since last July, not nonstop. We've done quite a few trips in the U.S.
Not nonstop. I feel like we stopped more than we have in the last.
We have stopped more than we have, but we've done 2 trips to the Southeast, trip to Texas, trip to the Mountain West. We've done
Savannah.
That would be the Southeast.
Oh well, okay.
Vegas, all kinds of stuff. We got quarantined in our house for 2 weeks. We were supposed to go to Hawaii, and Liam tested positive for coronavirus, and so we got to spend 2 weeks here instead of Hawaii.
Don't worry, he tested negative the next day and the next time, and he got tested like 2 or 3 more times.
3 more times.
All negative. So we were thinking we kind of goofed on that, but it
is what it is.
Happens.
Jenny Ramos from Boston, good to see you. Tom, greetings from Georgia, from Savannah, from Tom. Nice. Shut up, Mark. Glad I made it. Then you comment. You have to drink on there.
I love it. Hello, Lars. Hot in California.
Yeah. Ironhead, hey, thank you for watching our videos. I really appreciate it. Darian's listening from his truck.
Hey, Darian. I know that you're stopped at a light to text. Good. You behave.
Hey, from Morocco. Good to see you on there. Scotsman in Edinburgh. Nice. Austin, Texas. Oh, man. So much good food there.
Yeah, I miss
Greg, fingers crossed everything works out for this summer. So I guess now we've been on for about 5 minutes. I actually want to go through some things to really think about before summer travel gets going. Jerry Smith, I guess you're in North Carolina. Where'd you go from? Somebody was talking about Bojangles. So home of the Bojangles, can't beat that. Yeah. Huntsville, Alabama. With the space camp there last year, so we had a good time.
Was that last year? I guess it was right before coronavirus hit, huh? That was in February, maybe.
John, we used to drive through Asheville quite often. We'd be coming back from Savannah the long way back to Illinois, but some good times.
Yeah.
Roger Saba. Mark, when is the summer bod coming? Oh, it's here.
Right above that.
Don't you worry, it's here. No, I actually did rejoin the gym, and I've gone to bike class 3 of the last 4 days. So fingers crossed. Elwood's in the house. Elwood.
Rusty, click on it. When's Mark getting closer to an RV? I don't know.
We were so close, and then Europe started to open up again, and later it happened.
My life. No, I'm just kidding. But I'm looking in this thing and I'm like, my face is so much bigger than it was when we started doing this stuff last year.
Yeah, so is mine. I'm like, maybe I just need to trim the beard. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have a beard to trim. I mean,
Yeah, so Michael, traveling the world, brings up a good point. Book your tickets now, fellow travelers. It's getting expensive. And that's why I want to kind of go through 5 things that really you should know about traveling this summer, so you're kind of ready and prepared. So, and for those people that are watching the replay, they get this, and then we're going to talk about this more during the night. So while I'm going through these, I can't actually see your comments when I have this up. So we're going to talk about this for a bit. So we'll be back. But the first thing is, I think it's really important that you realize it's up to you to keep track of the requirements for your destination.
And they'll change.
And they can change like that. I mean, you may be like, oh, but it was this
way. They can, they are, and they will.
Yeah.
Like, expect it to change. But at this point, it looks like they're changing for the better, please God, and not the worse. So, but you have to be prepared either way.
Yeah. So make sure you're staying up to date, whether you're on CNN, the State Department, many websites are keeping track of what you need to know. Go to certain states, go to certain countries, coming from certain countries, transiting through different countries. Because you never know.
The same state, i.e. Hawaii.
Yeah, Hawaii, because Hawaii, they're only accepting vaccinations if they were vaccinated in Hawaii. Nothing is accepted from outside.
And my girlfriend, Sandra, if you watch my Simply Jocelyn videos, Sandra's on there a lot with me on Friday drink videos. And she and her husband they went from Oahu to the Big Island, and she's a researcher, right? Like, that's what she does. And they got to the Big Island and they were like, well, where's your not your vaccination, but your PCR test? And she's like, well, we took this one to get into the state. And she's like, oh yeah, you have to have one for inter-island travel too. Mm-hmm. It ended up being costly because they had 3 nights booked on the Big Island. So yeah,
and that's all on you. That's all on you when it happens. So you got to keep track. And that's why we have a friend of ours who's there now. He's actually coaching him, like, look, you stay on one island. Don't move, because even if you're vaccinated and you're fully vaccinated, it does not matter. They only accept if you're vaccinated in Hawaii. Now, how they check that, I'm not sure, but it is things. But that's the first thing I want you to remember, is it's really up to you to keep track of what's going on in your destination. Now, a second thing is almost like a safety thing, but just a like common sense kind of thing, is people seem to have forgotten how to act sometimes. I mean, you've seen this is actually how people acted before. Just now that people have been traveling, we're noticing these things.
More.
You're seeing, fights on the planes. Like there was a flight attendant who got 2 teeth knocked out. You had a lady that was accosting people like at the jet bridge at another airline.
I saw that one.
So really, I mean, you really need to pay attention to your surrounding. Another thing is you haven't been traveling.
I'm socially awkward now, more so than I was before.
more so, yes, indeed. But the thing is, you really need to pay attention to your surroundings and see what's going on, because you might not realize that person's had too much to drink, or that person is starting to get upset or something like that, and you could be in the wrong place at the wrong time, and it might not be your fault, and you might not have started stuff. But if you're in New Orleans and a fight's going on, you're gone too. If you say, I was protecting myself, you're gone as well. Airlines, boom, and you do not want to get banned from airlines, because your travel days get severely limited.
Your options are going to be hugely limited.
So that's why it's really important to kind of like do your research in terms of where you're going to go, what you need to watch out for, and pack a lot of patience. Okay, so that was the second thing I wanted to make sure you're thinking about. The third thing is, remember, reservations can make life a lot easier and still may be required in a lot of situations.
For restaurants, and also when you're talking about reserving things, for like hotels and airlines and things like that, and car rentals. My cousin is booking a trip, and she wanted to see if she could maybe get the car a few hours earlier. And guess what? She couldn't. They could give her a different car for half a day, but not the one that she had originally rented because they don't have anymore. So things are getting booked out like mad. So plan ahead and make those reservations early.
Yeah, and places that are still having social distancing and limited entries, amusement parks, things like that, you really need to book ahead and really see. And even if you're just like, I like to fly by the seat of my pants, this is not the summer to fly by the seat of your pants. For hotels, reservations, museums, you need to see what's available.
Plan it.
You got to plan it. And the thing is, having those reservations can make life a lot easier because you already have it planned.
And the money, let me tell you, prices are jumping, and that kind of leads us into our next bit.
So. Yeah, don't think those inspire people to travel prices are still there. Now, you can still find the occasional $400 to Ireland in October deals, but
maybe
for the summer, no. I mean, prices are going up, up, up. Even on the cheaper airlines, they're going up too. So if you're waiting to book for the summer, know that those deal prices aren't there anymore. I mean, there might still be some, but it's not as easy as if you would have booked, a month ago. It was kind of like when Europe announced that, hey, we're going to open up the end of April. They're like, hey, we're going to open. Man, the price just started going up.
Exploded.
And the thing is, I see it on our numbers. We're basically back to viewership that we had pre-COVID. We've been down, 70% in viewership, 80% in viewership, and now we're at like 95% of where we were. So people are inspired to go travel again. But it is one of those things. And that's actually another reason why we're going to be having a lot more live feeds for June, early July. So we can be talking about this more often, but we're actually going to have it on Amazon. If you look down below, it's amazon.com/shop/WaltersWorld. We'll be doing a lot more lives on there to talk about stuff. And, Joss will be doing her cooking stuff on there too. So we'll have more and we'll announce all that, but we're going to be doing more lives there because we've seen that our lives on YouTube get really weird sometimes. So this way,
a few issues. So we're trying something new. It's kind of like our beta test.
Yeah, so we're testing that out for June and July, and hopefully we can get Walter's World onto Amazon Prime.
Join us.
That's a hopeful. This is one of our things. Hopefully,
cool?
To get more spots than just YouTube. So this is one of those things. So.
Join us and give us some feedback on that too as we go through that, and let us know what you're thinking as viewers.
If you want to go there and just click follow, and when we go live, it'll show up on there.
Yeah.
Okay. But anyway, going back to those inspired people to travel prices, they're not there as much.
They don't exist too much.
Yeah. So have a heads up for that. And then my fifth one, if you've not already booked your hotel for summer travel, get on it. Honestly, go up there, click another tab, open it up, and start looking to book.
And do it in the secret mode or whatever your computer or phone has as far as
incognito mode or whatever.
Yeah,
because that can save you some money, especially if you're looking multiple times. They'll see that you're looking multiple times. It doesn't always happen, but it can.
But it can boost your price. So make sure you kind of try to do that, but get it on now because otherwise you might not have anywhere to stay.
Yeah,
pack a tent.
Yeah, no, because we've actually usually we're more. Hey, we'll see what we find. But this summer I was booking. I booked everything last month for our end of summer trip because I'm like, and I'll tell you, I had a hard time finding places. Like places were booked out, and we're not talking like New York City. We're talking like Columbus, Ohio, Ithaca, New York. We're talking,
Ithaca, New York was weirdly very booked.
I mean, we couldn't get Watkins Glen, hardly nothing there. We were looking everything. We're going to be in Western Massachusetts, and the Berkshires, however you want to say it. And literally the Hilton properties, the entire western part of the state was booked out of Hilton properties for most of the month of July when we were looking. So do get on that. So these are like the 5 things I really wanted to get across to you about what you should really think about. So I'm going to go back to the comments. So if you've been commenting, I see there's like 99 comments I have not seen. That's why I need to put this down there. If I don't get to your comment yet, I apologize, but we're going to start going some of those. And so we've had some super chats on here, so I apologize for those of you that have done that. Thank you very much for the support. It does make a big difference for us. Thank you so much. But I got to make sure because I just clicked on super chats last time and there was some bad stuff on there, so I got to find them first.
Okay.
Ashley Claire, thank you very much for the super chat. Hi, guys.
Thank you, Ashley.
My friend brought up an idea to just travel, see things in our state. What do you think? Much love from Mississippi. Hey, Mississippi.
I love driving through Mississippi.
So I have a Don'ts of Oxford and the Don'ts of Mississippi video that I'll be coming out later this month. So we had a good time when we were there. And that's actually one thing is just driving around your own state. There's places you don't even realize are there. I mean, my parents live by Iowa, and I was visiting them. I said, you know what? I'm just gonna go over to Iowa. I found Pella, this beautiful little town that's like a total Dutch town. The buildings are straight up like Dutch 1950s. There'll be a video out in a few weeks. I'm editing that one right now. And then we go see Bridgeton, Madison County, and Des Moines. So there's a lot of stuff you can see in your state. So definitely do that, especially in a beautiful state like Mississippi. Let's see. Giovanni Martinez, thank you very much for the super chat. Do I have to worry about renting a? Should he get out? He's trying to. No, the dog was trying to throw up there.
I'm gonna let him out just in case.
So Giovanni, do I have to worry about renting a car in Costa Rica, hidden fees? Not any more than any other places, but just know if you get in an accident in Costa Rica, you have to wait till the cops show up. But they'll explain that to you. If you don't want to drive there, I mean, every hotel can schedule tours and buses to take you by yourself or with friends. So there is that.
You can also get a driver. There are drivers too.
Was talking,
yes. Well, I'm sorry, I didn't. I was letting the dog out. Yeah.
So there is that. So.
We got a request from Jackie, who would like to know about Wiener Dog festivals in Germany. Have you ever been to one?
I have never been to a Wiener Dog festival in Germany.
A Wiener Dog.
Wiener Schnitzel? No, I have never been to a Wiener Dog festival. I know she has them, and she loves her Wiener Dog.
She has her Wiener Dogs.
And she does love her Wiener Dogs, but I have only seen... I've been to apple festivals, apple wine festivals. I've been to beer festivals. I've been to Christmas festivals. I've been to Easter, May. I've been to Osterwiese, which is Easter lawn festival in Bremen for Easter. But I have not. I'm sorry, Jackie. I have never seen a Wiener Dog festival. So there's that. Jose Gomez, thank you very much for the super chat. Hi, Mark and Jocelyn. Any tips on how to make the best of traveling alone? So a lot of times, I mean, we don't always travel together. Sometimes.
Oh, am I supposed to pretend to be weepy about that?
Yeah, you're like, yeah, I don't listen to your snore.
I so enjoy traveling alone. I don't do it nearly as often now as I used to because usually Mark and the kids, right? But also like girlfriends will want to come on trips and things like that. But the biggest thing is not to be afraid to make friends with people. You have to obviously be cautious somewhat when you're traveling and use your brain power on that. But I love meeting new people and establishing, even sometimes they become huge friendships like Nando.
Yeah.
When you met Nando and Elena
I was traveling Brazil by myself and I was fishing I came back from swimming with the piranhas and then he's there fishing for piranhas. We started chatting up and we've been best friends. His wedding's been postponed twice. We're supposed to be the best man in Italy. So 2022, we're going to get it done this time.
Yeah, but it's been more than 20 years of friendship and our kids are friends and, it's become familial. And so don't be afraid of that. Also, don't be afraid to change your plans. But when you do change your plans when you're traveling alone, make sure people know about it back home. You need to still be in contact with people. That's a safety thing. But don't be afraid to fly by the seat of your pants a little bit when you're traveling on your own.
And I think another thing is when you're traveling by yourself, I mean, I would stay at hostels when I was younger because there was a lot of solo travelers going through because hostels are a good deal if you're by yourself. If you got two people, you might as well get a cheap hotel and it's a better deal. But I'd go and I'd meet different travelers. So you'd have like a travel buddy for the day, especially when I was in South America backpacking. It was great because there's a lot more solo backpackers I found there than buddies doing stuff. So there is that. So I hope that helps, Jose. So thank you very much for the super chat. Henry Martinez, my buddy. Thank you so much for the super chat, my friend. Estoy bien, gracias. Of these three great countries, where would you retire the most? Portugal, Nicaragua, or Uruguay? I would go with Portugal. Johnson would probably go with Nicaragua.
Well, Portugal, then Uruguay.
So Johnson says Portugal, Nicaragua, then Uruguay. I would do the same because, I mean, if I retired without her, that would be weird. But no, that would probably be my way to go too. I like all of them. So, they're all chill, they're all good times, nice people. So can't really complain on any of those. So thank you very much for that, my friend. Thank you. Oh, I'm jumping around. Oh, my mom. Sorry I'm late. Good evening all. Hi, Mom. Love you. Let's see. There's another super chat. Oh, thank you very much, One Revolution, for the super sticker. I appreciate it. Ron Anderson, thank you very much for the super chat, my friend. I just found your channel last week and I'm loving them. Thanks, man. That's awesome. You're an awesome guy that seems like a blast to hang out with. You have a beautiful family. Thanks, Ron. That means a lot. And we try to show people the fun of travel. I was actually at my local grocery store and this couple came up and said hi to me. And one of the guys like, thank you for being so positive in your videos and always focusing on the good stuff. I mean, I talk about bad stuff, but I always try to stay positive with everything. And I'm glad they can kind of come through. And so thank you for that. That's really nice, man. Thank you. Let's see. Oh, another super chat. Thank you very much, Brandon. Hey, Walter, what time would be better time to travel to France from Atlanta, both for cost, COVID, and weather? It's my first Euro trip. Okay. So if you don't have kids, that means you can go any time of the year. Fall, like October, November can be wet, like cold, wet. So that might not be the best.
The first time I went to France was with Mark at the end of November.
November 21st.
Right. It was his birthday. It rained quite a lot. And it was chilly, but you know, it was still France. I mean, it was still awesome, right?
Yeah.
But on this note, there may still be a lot of things closed to COVID. So it's going to be a little bit of a gamble for some places being open. Don't expect it to be like a typical European trip.
Yeah. Also, I'd say if you're looking to go in the summertime, I would focus more towards the north because like Nice, the Côte d'Azur, the French River, it can get very, very, very warm, very hot, and not a lot of air conditioning. So it can be a bit uncomfortable. I personally, I actually have a video. If you look, it's like first time French itinerary, and it's Paris, Normandy, and Loire region. So that's a nice, easy loop to do. And you're not traveling too far, and you can do public transportation for everything if you want, or you can rent a car. So is that. But I think probably the best time would be like in April.
So
because
on the other end of it, I would say September, shoulder season.
Yeah, because there's you don't have the school groups, you don't have the families going because their kids are in school. So there is that. Actually, I think September is a bit better for the school because April and May you start having some of the end of year school groups. September you still get good weather, but all the kids are back in school pretty much September 1.
September is kind of my favorite month to go to Europe in general because especially in the south, the weather is always nice, and you know that would be my preferred thing. So
yeah, so is that. So thank you very much,
Darian. We said
Darren. Yeah, we said
he was on the doohickey, right? On the
yes, he was. Katie Smith, thank you so much. Katie says, just wanted to say thank you for this community that is so nourishing, especially during the last year. I mean, yeah, like this group has helped us get through this year.
It has
14, 15 months of whatever the heck we've been going through.
It's been more than a year. I keep forgetting it's 2021.
Yeah, it's like we're almost the second half of 2021. I mean, that's the insane part.
Truly, and I keep thinking 2020, but this group, the superheroes group on our Facebook page.
To the superhero groups.
Yeah.
Cheers. Y'all
are the best. So, but we were all remarking recently about how this has we've all kept each other up, you know, and I'm grateful that Mark and I were able to make a platform for people to come and connect and become friends and support one another because our support came from people online more than it came from the people you usually rely on it for. And I know that wasn't just for us, it was for so many people.
Yeah, because I mean, we didn't get to see family. We have friends that are just seeing their grandkids again, first time in 17 months, or seeing their parents for the first time in 17 months. Like one of my students, Paige, she's out in DC and was the last weekend, she had a picture of her and her parents. And it's like, first time seeing my parents in 17 months. I'm like, I know, and because she went on one of my trips as a student, I know how important her family is to her. And I was like, I just broke my heart. I'm like, it's a big thing. Yeah. So, Rusty Shackelford, everyone is super chatting. I just want to be popular. Rusty, you
already
popular,
are.
Silly. Don't you worry about that.
Did you get that one below it? I thought I saw one below.
Hold on, I'm trying to guess. See, this is what happens. So when we end up doing a 10-minute talk about a video, we end up having all this stuff here. Don't worry, we're going to get to a lot of questions. That's why it says down if I don't get your question, it's always okay to post again. But Henry, Mark, can you talk more about Amazon getting into video hosting? I think you mentioned earlier about uploading to Amazon as well. Amazon does have the money to compete with Google, YouTube. So what Amazon is doing now is they have this thing called Amazon Live. I literally never heard about it until 2 days ago. Amazon reached out to me about starting doing some lives on there. Now, the only thing that's different is we can do our talks, but then they'll be the products below that we might talk about. But the thing is, they're like, no, you can do your live feeds however you want. If you want to talk about products, you put it on there, that's fine. So instead of having like random commercials, I don't know what's popping up, at least I can choose.
At least they're things we approve of.
Yeah, and so I was like, well, that's actually something we could do. So we're going to be doing that, and it'll give us a chance to have another platform. And my hope is, because one of my friends, Curious Traveler, Christine, who does Curious Traveler on PBS, her videos are on Amazon Prime. So I'm hoping that this could help get Walter's World on Amazon Prime. So we're trying to build up a relationship there. I don't know if it's going to happen, but
it would be cool.
That'd
to
be
have
cool.
A whole new,
yeah. So we're trying to find.
Right?
Yeah. So we're trying to find other ways because it's a crazy world. It's a crazy world. Oh, Ronnie Dove.
Thank you.
I meant to answer this one before, Ronnie. Thanks, buddy. Would anyone consider doing a storm chasing tour as a vacation? Wonder about it. I've been binge watching those shows recently. Actually, Ronnie, you asked me this before, and someone else. Seriously, it was not you, and not even our conversation before. Someone else asked me about doing that, and I'm like, nah. I watched Twister too many times. Actually, Twister is one of those movies. When I used to live abroad, I'd miss home. I'd watch Twister. So I'm like, oh, it's like home. Because like there's a swim club I worked at that their storm was coming. I left before I even got to my house, which was like 5 minutes away. Hit by a tornado, blew up. Thank God nobody was hurt or nobody was killed.
Smart people.
Yeah, we got to go downstairs, but yeah, that's
good thing you were gone.
Yeah, that's a good thing I was gone. That was the one of the things. I'm like, huh. So that's one of those ones I watched.
But you know what? Other people on here may, y'all like talk amongst yourselves. You might find somebody else to do that here.
Yeah,
that would be pretty cool. Meets the Travel. Hello. I think I just saw that run by.
Yeah, I thought I saw.
Yeah.
So I'm using StreamYard, and it's not as easy as my OBS
it's
and
just
Amazon.
Different.
It's different.
Just different.
It's just different.
Oh, your mother's on. Hi, Kath.
I know. I said hi to my mom.
Well, I didn't. Hi, Kath. It's nice to see you. Thanks for that errand you ran for me this week. It's nothing, dear. There's nothing in your mother's basement for me.
Oh, God.
Hans Christensen, any idea when I'll be able to travel to the U.S. from the UK?
We do not know yet. That it's funny because the U.S. and UK have been talking probably the longest about getting some kind of corridor thing put together. I would imagine it is coming. I just don't know when. I mean, it won't be June. I don't think it'll be July. I think
it'll probably. I mean, July, August. There's more hope. I don't think it's going to happen in June.
No, no. If things haven't been announced for June, they're not going to be announced. Like that's why Ireland was like, July 19th, we're going to open up for the European countries. So that got me thinking, if they're opening up the European countries, then later in the year, Ireland's an okay to go. Yeah. Let's see. Oh, Esther J. Lee visiting Seattle and Chicago this week. Thank you for all your vids that helped me with my research on the trip. Thank you. Cool. I messed up on my Seattle dog. I think I said sour cream instead of cream cheese or something like that. So apologies on that one, but it's not bad, though. Vancouver has better hot dogs than Seattle. The Museum of Pop Culture in Seattle, it's expensive, but I thought it was worth it. Going up to Space Needle for the line and the price, not so much worth it, just to let you know. But I hope you have a really fun time, Esther. That's awesome. Let's see. All right, now.
So Liz and Derek are on. It's nice to see them. They actually stopped by our house recently, and we got to hang out and make some videos together, and it was really great fun collaborating with them. It was awesome.
It was.
We enjoyed ourselves.
Sarah B. going to Greece in October. Flight
Yay!
book. Nice. I have 4 weeks. I want to focus on Athens and the islands south of there. What should my rough itinerary be?
So I'm going to be honest. I think that like 5 days in Athens is probably enough.
More than enough.
Because you're going to have, if she wants to focus on Athens, you can.
Perfect amount of time.
I think 4 to 5 days is fine for Athens. Because wherever you're going, if you're taking the ferries, it's going to take you a good minute to get to the different islands. Crete has a special place in our hearts. I mean, it's kind of it's our kumbada, that like our family without the blood is all there. And we love Hanya and Heraklion, and there's a lot to see on Crete. And I think you could spend 4 or 5 days there. Not sure what, like what else do you think? Santorini.
Santorini is one that everyone has to go to.
And at that time of the year, so in October, it's going to be a little iffy on what's open because a lot of things in Santorini and also Mykonos tend to shut down in the fall because they just don't have the people to keep them open. Now, this year, I wonder if things might be open a little bit later, trying to draw in whatever little money they can from tourism, simply because they haven't been open for so long. So that might be something else. Kefalonia is an island that a lot of people don't go to. It's not far off the mainland, and that would be a really cool thing to do. And
I would say also, don't think of the place. I mean, doing the day trips to Delphi and stuff like that, or going to Nafplio for a couple of days. That's well worth it.
That's what I was just gonna say. As you get down into like the glove part of Greece, Nafplio, Yethio. Like we often stay in Sparta because we have family there and we take day trips. There's not a lot in Sparta, but there's a lot of good day trips from around there.
Yes.
Like
if you're looking to go, don't waste your time going to Sparta, because the Spartans didn't really keep anything. They just had their battle stuff.
We just fought.
They just fought. So you're not really, there's an
and damn it, we won.
So anyway, we need to focus. We got a lot of questions. So.
All right.
So best time of year to visit Switzerland, I have to go May, June. Any tips and things you'd recommend for me to do or see? Actually, that would be my recommendation would be May, April, May, because you're going to get the flowers blooming with all the mountains and the train rides through there.
The train ride is worth.
Yeah, the train ride's worth it by itself.
That's the best way to see Switzerland.
It's not. I don't usually recommend Switzerland with kids because they're not the most child friendly of countries and with the prices. But going to places, Lucerne is gorgeous. Any of the larger cities too. If you want to go to Geneva or Zurich, it's nice. There's a bunch of smaller towns you can check out. Basel's okay, but Basel's good if you want to do like go over to France or Germany, go up to Freiburg in Germany, or go over to Mulhouse in France. It's easy connections. So there's that there. So that's nice.
Yeah, that one.
So Spain is open. Our children also welcome. I'm planning to go to Spain, hopefully. Okay, so when it comes to children, all these things, you have to see what they say. Places like Greece are like, vaccinate, or you take the PCR test, or you take a test to prove you have a negative test.
I don't know. Is that what Spain's doing? I don't know.
I don't know. That's why we have to look at each one separately. So there is that.
That is the thing. It's not like often when we go to Europe, we country hop. We might spend 6 weeks there and be in 5 or 6 countries or more. It's not going to be as easy to do that now. You're going to have to look up that stuff.
Yeah, I don't recommend doing that right now, at least for the first part of the summer. Like, that's one thing. Jennifer, greetings from Cleveland. We're going to be staying at the Christmas tree or the Christmas Story house in Cleveland later this year.
Yay! Mark is actually just about to pee his pants with excitement over that.
Well, no, I already peed, so I'm okay.
Yeah.
What's your crystal ball say about UK being open then also without needing a quarantine? Well, the thing is, it might be open into July, but coming from Paris, you might have to test before you go. So that is one of those things. Because I know some countries are worried about the Indian variant, as they call it, from Britain. So they've been a little bit more strict with the passage and stuff. So I wouldn't like get my hopes up. It could happen, but I wouldn't get my hopes up. Okay, Jen. So thank you for the super chat. I just want to, try to be as honest as I can for you. Oh, Mona Lisa likes I like Curious Travel. Rick Steves, nice. Let's see. Henry Martinez back. Thank you, my friend. I also forgot to mention other YouTube alternatives like Odyssey, Rumble, Twitch. Have you guys heard of those? I do know those. I've thought about doing some of those, but Twitch has got some really strict rules, and not as strict as YouTube. Well, they have some things that even if I don't know. I've had some friends on there, and it has not been a good experience for them. So I've tried to stay away from that one a bit. Let's see. Glenn Camp, have a banner trip to Canada in July. We're going to New England instead, looking to cross from Connecticut to Long Island with a car. Need reservations or not. Some of you can just roll up and do it. But if you actually look online on the ferry system, it'll give you what they recommend you do. So you can see when the busier times are. It might be worth it just to book just in case.
it's not bad to book ahead, and it may just be that you only need to book a couple 3 days in advance. It maybe doesn't have to be months in advance because that's used by people like on a daily basis.
Yeah. So there's that. Oh, gee.
Hey, it's been a minute. Thanks for the super chat.
So this is one when I was talking. Thank you for the super chat. And this is one thing that I was talking about with our number 2 for things to remember about this summer is people are forgetting their manners. People are forgetting decorum. So with the rise in violence against flight attendants, airport staff, and other passengers, what tips do you have to deal with someone who's having a rough day? Intervene or don't engage. Here's the thing: if someone's having a bad day, they're going to take it out on somebody. If it's somebody bigger than you, I do not recommend you do that and it doesn't have to be bigger than you, but because you never know. I would talk to a flight attendant. I would talk to some of the security personnel or someone at the airport, be like, hey, I mean, I know it sounds bad, but here's the thing: if something happens on the airplane, your plane's not leaving. Okay, the cops are going to come. They're going to do that. There's probably going to, in case they have something on the plane still, everyone has to deboard. So it's not fun.
Sometimes the best thing to do is just if somebody's being vocally aggressive to someone, sometimes the best thing you can do is just to stand there and to be a support for the person who is being accosted, and also to be witness to it. So in some respect, it's not, you don't necessarily have to intervene physically, but you can be there and just support people.
Yeah. So it's Ro Jack. Good to see you again. Hello, Ro. Let's see.
I keep checking.
Kim M, can't wait for the means to travel.
Yeah, the means to travel.
We'll get those things down. We'll get those. Okay, Paula. Suggestions for countries to visit for a 5-day Thanksgiving holiday traveling from the U.S. East Coast. Okay, so you're limited in terms of how far you can get, but how close it is. Easy that it's actually closer probably to go to these countries than go into LA or San Francisco. Ireland, Iceland, Scotland, England.
Iceland in
Wales.
November?
But it doesn't. The Gulf Stream goes through there. It's not that bad. You can go. It won't be that cold. It's Iceland, not Greenland.
I guess they're from the Northeast. If you're from
tough.
the Northeast, you'll be fine.
They're tough. They'll be fine. Those are some there. If you're looking at Caribbean islands, what I will tell you now, I've been looking for Caribbean island trips for this Thanksgiving, and I mean, Trinidad and Tobago was booked out. Jamaica still had stuff. Cayman Islands was booked out with Delta. A lot of them are booked out. People are like, this is where we're actually good to travel. So I would look for some of those. Bahamas is available. Costa Rica is a little that's the thing is with 5 days, I wouldn't want to go much farther than Costa Rica if you're coming from the Northeast. If you were down in Texas or Miami, northern South America.
Well, also you have to think about rainy season. November starts rainy season in Costa.
No, October is the really bad rainy season. That's when you don't go at all.
That's the beginning.
Yeah, end of November is usually okay.
I want to answer that one.
This one?
Yeah. Mark, is backpacking trip this summer in Europe a good idea if you stick to countries that'll be open? I have end of June to August booked. I may have made a mistake. So I'm going to say this. I think that it doesn't necessarily have to be a mistake. You may not be able to see a ton of countries, but what you may be able to do is spend a lot of time and really get to know a few countries. So it may actually be more enriching because you're getting instead of 1,000 places, you're just really getting to know a few cultures. And so I don't think that it's necessarily a mistake. It's just going to be a different type of trip.
So, Mark, visit Uzbekistan. We were waiting for you. Actually, when I did my master's degree, there was a whole bunch of guys from Uzbekistan, and we had a lot of fun together. So I only have good things to say about my experience with people from Uzbekistan.
And we had plans to go to
Central Asia.
Yeah, just to hit a bunch of countries all at one time. But everything's been thrown out of whack. So I don't know when that's going to happen because I don't know when anything's going to happen.
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to figure out because now for this year, we kind of have an idea what we're going to do for the rest of the year. We've got a lot of U.S. I'm going to France with my mom. We're doing a couple trips to Europe. But it's next year's when traveling is going to be back to the way it was. And so we're trying to figure out, okay, what are we going to do? But Esther, by the way, my boyfriend forgot his ID at home. Oh, no, 3 flights during our New York City.
I can't believe he got anywhere.
We're just getting home. Oh, no. Is O'Hare cool with that? Said it was, but JFK wasn't.
I don't think O'Hare is going to be cool with that. It would be awesome if you could have somebody like overnight it to you in a place.
Yeah.
That would be your safest route, and it might be kind of expensive, but it would be worse if he got stuck somewhere and he has to fly home and pay an ungodly amount.
Yeah, and Esther, what I would do is talk to the airline and say, this is what happened, because people get robbed and their wallets get stolen every day and their passports get stolen every day. We've had to get passports for students last minute because their stuff was taken. So yeah, it sucks. I'm sorry.
Right here.
I just joined. If I don't have someone.
Going on a cruise at this time. So going on cruises right now is a little different. They're starting to open back up. There will be a lot of people that'll tell you it's absolutely fine. There will be another group of people that will tell you that cruise ships tend to be cesspools for germs because you're all stuck together in one place. So I feel like that is something that you really have to make that decision on your own, because it could go either way, I suppose, you know?
Yeah, music you picked up.
Oh, all right, gotta go. See y'all.
So
where are my shoes?
You can go barefoot, it's fine.
I'm driving barefoot. I'm pretty sure that's illegal.
I don't know anymore. I'm not sure. I remember when I was a kid, it was told you can't drive with flip-flops because that's illegal, but I don't think that's true.
I always drive flip-flops.
So my buddy Gary Benbridge, cruise tips or tips for travelers. He is actually he's the expert on cruise travel, Tony. I would check him out, and he can give you a lot of advice because he's going through things. Basically, what you're looking at, things that are okay, is just staying in one country, kind of stuff. Like there's a British Isles one just for Brits, and so there is that. Excuse me. Inside Lauren's brain, I was surprised how much I like Virginia. I just took a trip and visited 10 states. Whoa, Lauren, you didn't tell me that. And being from Cali was so nice to see green nature. Yeah, you guys had dropped for a while now. Yeah, no, Virginia, West Virginia. Oh, we love West Virginia. We went through there. We're actually going back later this summer to do some adventure stuff when we're there because we had a really good time. Davis is heading up Hilton Head tomorrow. Any tips have you ever been? Hilton Head, I haven't been to since I was like 15. We always end up staying in Savannah because Jocelyn lived there for 10 years. I mean, Caleb was born there. But Hilton Head is good for shopping. You got the Salty Dog. There's decent beaches there. But you can do a day trip to Savannah or Charleston. I would actually do a day for each one. So that could be something for you to do to get some culture in there. But it's much more of a play tennis, play golf, do bungee jumping. So there is that. Let's see. Megan Miller, did you guys see that Ireland is opening July 19th to vaccinated travelers? Thanks for all the great content. So yeah, I did, but Megan, that was for the thing I read at first was it was for European vaccinated travelers. I don't know if it's for US vaccinated travelers yet. But I only had like the bullet point thing, so I don't know exactly what everything's there. So depending where you're from, and that's another thing, people, you have to look at where you're from, who they're accepting. Are you on a list? Like the UK, they're all going to Portugal now because Portugal's on the green list. So we be careful for that. But yeah, no, when Ireland said they were going to open up for Europeans July 19th, that's when we realized we can go to Ireland later this year. So we've actually booked tickets to go to Ireland later in the year. So should be fun. Yes, Susan, you're right. My mom is cool. I agree. Nathan Holder, thank you very much for the super chat. Hey, Walter, love your channel. Thank you very much. What are some of the best small towns to visit in Germany off the beaten path? So the Harz Mountains, you got Wernigerode, Quedlinburg, Goslar, you can go visit. Those three towns are relatively close to each other, all the Harz Mountains. While we're visiting, great in the summer, even better at Christmas time. Fantastic. There's that. Other small places, they're not necessarily small towns, but they're small places people don't visit as much. One, you've got Bamberg, which is outside of Nuremberg, which is really cool. They have the smoked beer, the Rauch beer, I really like, and white sausages. Probably the coolest looking town hall. That and Lüneburg have the two best looking town halls in Germany. Lüneburg, which is in the north, just south. It's in the north, just south of Hamburg. You can go there. Another place a lot of people don't go in Germany, but they should, is Freiburg. Is my go-to. That's another good one, and it's easy to get to if you're like in Strasbourg in France. You can just head over there when borders are open and stuff. So there is that. Yes, I see a lot of members on the stream that aren't on the private Facebook group. Contact Mark for instructions. Yeah, just send me a direct message on Facebook or on the Waltersville channel or on Instagram or on Twitter. So we have those. Hold on, let's see. We have something. I'm sure there's something on here. Yes, there we go. You can follow us on at Walters World or at Jocelyn Walters on Instagram for that. Thanks, Mark. I appreciate the help. Let's see. All right. Cam McMaster. Hey, Walters World. Sorry I joined late. No problem. Any advice for a trip to PEI Canada this summer? So I'm gonna guess you're already in there. The bridge over is a little trepidatious, but it's fine. PEI, honestly, super nice people. We really loved our time there. But I will tell you, when you go to the beach, whatever you wear to the beach will get stained by the red clay, the red like sand, dirt, whatever on the beaches. So there is that. Go. I think Moo might still be there. We can get some good ice cream downtown in the historic part. Going to Anne of Green Gables, where that Green Gables is there. If you read those books, one thing I would say, if you're going to do, like we did a road trip, we went from Illinois down to Florida, then up to Prince Edward Island, and we had all of the Anne books, Anne of Green Gables, and all the other stuff, and we actually listened to all of them, all the way down and all the way up, and so we got there, it's like, oh! So even the boys were really, really excited. Oh, Andrew Downey, thanks to the Rail Explorers video in Boulder City. We added to our itinerary after watching your video and really enjoyed it. Yeah. So those who don't know, Rail Explorers, you're like on a recumbent bike for 4 people on railroad tracks. And it is so cool when you go. We actually did it with Tanya and Dave from Turn It Up World. And if you go look on there, it's a really fun time. I was really glad we did that. And they actually have one in Rhode Island as well that I'm trying to schedule because we're going to be out that way. And if I can get it, I want to take Liam out there and Caleb out there so we can all do that. So thanks for the reminder. Okay, Lilac Dream. What is the supposed health certificate I've been reading about to enter the European Union? Okay, so health certificates, vaccine passports, whatever you want to call it, it's that. It just proves that you have your vaccination. We all have our little cards in the US we get our stamps on. It's basically, how do you get that to be certified, to be like real? Because people are faking them already. They're faking to have it so they can go travel. That's, I think, one of the things that's holding up the US, Europe kind of things. We're not really sure how to prove it. Some places like, hey, we trust you. Other places like, nah, we want to see more. So that's something there. I wouldn't be surprised in the next month or so if airlines don't start, you start, scanning it and uploading it, and they'll verify it or something. I don't know how, but that is something I really think is going to happen. Let's see. There's a big wide world. I haven't seen you forever. Sign over here in Australia. Very jealous reading everyone's travel plans. We have New Zealand booked for the southern summer. Hey, well, that's cool. I mean, so Australia's got your bubbles with New Zealand. I have some New Zealand friends live in Australia, so they were really happy to be able to go back home. But you have that, and you have a huge country with a lot of beautiful things to see. So it's like the U.S. We can enjoy our countries. But yeah, like Australia was supposed to be our big trip for about a month this last December and January. Obviously, that did not happen with how everything turned out. So that's bad. Oh, where is it? Dang it! It just jumped. There was one about the maritime provinces in Canada, but I do not know. Pat Murphy, hey Mark Jr. Oh, you hear this? You hear the snorer? That's my dog. We compete with our snoring. Let's see. I like this. Inside Lauren's brain. I also had the best ice cream in Ohio and Knoxville, both. Cruise Dairy was amazing. I forgot the name of the one in Ohio, but it was black raspberry chocolate. Ooh, the sweetness of the chocolate, the bitterness of the raspberry. I can see that working real well. Getting 2 servings. So I get that all the time. Oh, best food in South Dakota. The steaks were really good when we were there. Actually, Sean, if you look in what to eat in South Dakota and simply Jocelyn has a video on the best eats for there. So something there for you. Let's see. All right, I think I've finally caught up. So now ask your questions again so I can get back to them. Oh yeah, so we do that. Grater's ice cream. Yeah. Hey, the road, Jack. I hope you're doing better, my friend. Oh, I just got to jump about 25 things. Nice. So, Audrey Rizio, thank you very much for the super chat. Thank you for all the videos this past year. My husband and I are excited to go to Iceland later this year. Awesome. Best place to eat, ILL, INI. So, Audrey, you're not going to have a ton of restaurant options when you're there. A lot of times it'll be the place you stay has a restaurant with it or has food with it, and you will eat there. What you're going to want to have when you're there is the fresh fish. Like literally, we were there, and it was like the sun was catching the fish that we ate that night. I mean, it's unbelievable. Also, lamb. Lamb's also another thing if you're looking for the meat side of it. But for me, the thing I loved the most was the skyr. That's their yogurt. You can get it at the stores here in the US now. But skyr will be yogurt, but they'll have it in a lot of different forms, like normal yogurt or like a cheesecake or a dessert or a mousse or something. And Audrey, you're going to love it. It's awesome. I'm so happy for you. That's going to be a fun trip. Inside Lawrence, I did not see her comment about barbecue. I just know barbecue is great, and no one can change my mind with that. So, Michael, traveling the world, is the JFK Library worth it? I'm going to Boston in August, and if it opens up, that's the key. Presidential libraries have been closed during the pandemic, as I'm a president's nerd, especially Cold War presidents. I will be honest with you. I've been to 5 presidential museums. And for the most time, they were worth it. Even for presidents that aren't like, as impactful as JFK was, you can actually learn quite a bit. I mean, we were at the Little White House in Key West where Truman used to go. And it wasn't like the coolest thing, but the stories that were with it helped you learn a lot more what Truman was like, what he did. So that was kind of neat. So I don't mind hitting those up. So Joshua Radford, can you make a video about traveling for work? Oddly enough, with Derek from Means to Travel, we actually filmed a don'ts of business travel to Europe video. We literally filmed it. Derek, you were here last week? We just filmed it, so I got to put that together. So we'll have some stuff there. I also have like 5 love and hates of working abroad, 5 love and hates of living abroad, what to consider before you move abroad. Some of them are older videos, but the topics are still right there to be helpful. So definitely check that out. Oh, Caitlin's heading up to New England this summer. Best things to do in Maine, New Hampshire, Vermont. Okay, so Maine, Acadia National Park, Portland, Bahaba, as people like to jokingly say. But I used to go, Camden was my place. I actually took boat trips out of there when I was a kid, which I really enjoyed. Oh, yeah, going to Acadia and Bath. So you're good there. Vermont, Burlington, Vermont's nice with the lake there. It's Vermont and New Hampshire is more just drive. First off, driving across New Hampshire, Vermont is like super time consuming, but it is really beautiful to do. So it's more drive around, stop at local mom and pop places. And there's a lot of mom and pop like hotels and motels in Vermont, New Hampshire. You can stay at the same thing in Maine, which can be a kind of a fun surprise. We were in Belfast, Maine for their like Ireland festival more than a few years ago, but it was a good time. So let's see. Oh, someone's asking, is there anything cool in Nebraska? The zoo in Omaha. Omaha is pretty cool. I actually had students that went to work there in Omaha. They actually said how much fun they had in Omaha. The rest of the state, there's some nice stuff to see along the way, but that's the main one to see. Henry, thank you for the super chat. Mark, can you talk about one story where you guys encountered a fight on a plane, verbal or physical? Any rude? Oh yeah. Okay. So anytime we fly to Central and South America, Jocelyn always, when we fly back, it's usually 3 seats. So it's me and the 2 boys, and then Jocelyn's behind us, and she always sits next to the most drunk person on the entire plane, or the most smelly person on the entire plane. It's like a given, so it's kind of funny. So there is that. There was one time when I was
flying, and I never fought any of them.
No, she never fought any of them. But I was flying back to the Canary Islands at Christmas. We were flying over a hurricane, and we dropped like 5,000 feet. I mean, we thought we were going to die. And
I did that once too.
Yeah, and
different flight.
And a guy on the plane, because this is one of those like low cost things, like all inclusives, and this guy is yelling at the flight attendant, "I'm supposed to be able to get all the alcohol I want. You get my beer now." He's like getting up as we're all like flying up and down, like we're gonna die. I'm like holding a lady next to me so she doesn't like lose her mind and cry and everything. And this guy's just losing it. And you're like, dude, like, stop. He's like, no, I paid for this flight. And I mean, seriously, it was like 200 euros or 200 Deutschmarks, like 100 euros for this like week thing. And I'm like, dude, it ain't worth it. So
I want to say hi to Eric B.
Oh, yeah.
Travel Adventures with Eric.
Hey, Eric B. What's up? You can go check him out on his channel.
Super nice guy, y'all.
Okay, so the one that was asking about business travel, you're right. Means to travel, if you go onto her channel, Derek, her husband, I don't know what you season him, but whatever. Just kidding. He's a great guy. We love Derek. They actually just put a bunch of stuff on work travel, so that's really good to check out. So check out their things. So Esther just got a Tesla. Wanted to do a weekend road trip from New York City and suggestion for destinations. Finger Lakes are obviously a very popular destination. It's not that far of a drive.
Mystic, Connecticut.
Mystic, Connecticut's a good one.
Providence, Rhode Island.
I would go Newport, Rhode Island over Providence.
Well, I was thinking about Portuguese food.
Portuguese food
and
East Providence. We're actually going to be eating there. So
I want to go. So I think it might only be during the summer months, but Providence, at least they used to have these like fire on the water things, and I just want to go see that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Hey, Darian. So means to travel. Flight attendants are there for safety, not for service. My best friend is a flight attendant, says safety is 90% of the job. Yeah.
That's what they're there for.
So Dan Holmes says, have you ever been to a country you felt unsafe? So I don't try to go to places where I don't feel safe going. Sometimes it happens.
There are moments when you don't feel safe.
Like I remember this is in the 90s, and I was in Peru, and I'm like walking on the street, and then this wave of people come running around the corner, and everyone picks up their stuff and starts running to them like, uh-oh. And then like tanks come around the corner and personnel cars. I'm like, oh no. And I like ran into a store and get out of the way. It was it was something.
There have been moments in different places. Like there was one night in Budapest, and we turned a corner, and it was pretty late, and it was the three of us. Liam was not yet. I was pregnant with Liam, and Caleb was but like 4, and there was just this moment where there's some unsavory sort of people, and we were just like,
yeah, and there was like people
turn around and go the other way.
There were people hiding in the bus stops.
That happened in Rome one time, near the doohickey. What's the doohickey called? The train station. It was the train station that there was one night we came in late, and it's usually at night, but generally speaking, like you said, we don't go to places that are a little creepy. Let's see.
Turn the air conditioning off?
I turned the air off like 3 days ago.
78 degrees in the house.
It's 72 outside.
It's somehow it's 78 inside. I'm like,
weenie.
Dude, I am hot. Like, I'm not built for. I'm not built to be inside in this kind of weather.
East West. Have you ever had to contact the U.S. Embassy while traveling? I've not.
Well, I have to get new passports. To get updated passports, back when you used to put pages in your passports, I had to go to the embassy to get a letter from the embassy saying that Liam is a real name in America, and therefore we could name Liam when he was born in Portugal. So,
well, we did a lot at the U.S. Embassy when we lived in Portugal because we had a baby there. So it wasn't just that; it was several trips, and he did them all. Oh gosh, Charleston, IOP, things to do, places to see. So Charleston's one of those towns I love to just wander and get a little bit lost in. Is it Pugins Porch? Is one of my favorite places to eat. I love the library upstairs on the rooftop for drinks in the evening. Charleston Grill is one of my absolute favorite restaurants on earth. It is in the Charleston Place Hotel, I think is what it's called. It's been a minute since I've been there, but the food was so stinking good. Also, don't just stay in Charleston. Like maybe go to like Sullivan's Island and some of those things. You might find some really interesting, a little less touristy things. Of course, there's market and shopping, and Charleston's just a great place. And all all the old plantations on the Ashley River are really interesting. There are a couple that are just gardens. Some are houses. What's the one of that perfect Georgian house? Damn, why am I not remembering the name? It starts with a D. I can't even think of it, but it's a national.
The house.
No, Drayton Hall.
Drayton Hall.
That is one of the best examples of Georgian architecture in the United States. You should see that.
So Francis, thanks all. Hey Francis. I'm making notes. I'm looking at suggestions, so truly thanks. Croatia has been top of the list, but if Spain is open November, I'd love to do that as well. Croatia, excuse me, is open. You can still go to Croatia. Actually, the U.S., like United and Delta, made airline trips to Iceland, Greece and Croatia.
They weren't ordinarily going.
Yeah, they weren't usually going. They've actually had more flights to go there.
Yeah, and Croatia is lovely. It's probably a little less expensive than Spain too.
Yeah.
So.
And they're about the same, really, except like Barcelona and Madrid are more expensive, but it's not that.
But like if you're like, yeah, okay.
So Maxine, were there a lot of gas stations with Cheyenne and Salt Lake City? Not a ton. So, but you're on the highway, so you'll be okay. So if you take the back roads, that's where you have a problem, because then you're like, is that a gas station? It's just a pump at another store. So fill up early and often. Someone's asked if you ever go to war zones. Nope.
God, no.
So Iron Hat, when I rent a car in the U.S., can I call AAA in case of a problem with the car, or if I have a specific make a contract with them? So you have to be a AAA member. If you're not a AAA member, they won't, like, you have to show your card or your number when they help you.
But if you're renting a car in the U.S. and you're not from here and you don't want to join AAA because it's like a year-long membership or whatever, you may, depending on with whom you're renting, you may be able to get roadside assistance.
Well, yeah, all the car rental places, not all the big national chains will offer that. Brigadier, hush. Douglas West, hey. Mark, we love your videos. Thanks so much for keeping us informed about our travels. I'm glad we could. These things have gotten all mixed up. You are always hot, Mark. Thanks, Mom. It's not weird. So I don't know what you all are seeing, because all of my stuff keeps showing the same. I'm trying to like cycle through, and it keeps showing me the same like 10 things again. Eric B's like, I'm here 10 times.
Eric Quintero, tips for Cancun. We do have videos on Cancun.
Yeah, we have Adults to Cancun, Shocks to Cancun. Also watch the video on what to know about all-inclusive resorts. That's going to be your stuff there. Okay, some stuff came through. Dudley Do Right. Hey.
It's been a minute, huh?
I know. Is there another group besides Patreon? Yeah. So if you're a YouTube member, you can do that on YouTube and become a member there. And then we can get you on. There's a Facebook group that goes along with the membership and the patron stuff. Dudley Do Right, good to see you. Dudley's still always right back in the day.
But yeah.
Yes, Water Fire. Steph, thank you, Steph.
Thank you,
some people said Water Fire is the thing in Providence. So we're going to be.
That's the thing I want to see.
Yeah, so we're going to go do dinner, then we'll come back and do that.
Yeah.
So or we can go.
After
we can
get
early
my
and go.
umabika.
Yeah, your umabika, so you don't have to sleep ever again. So
that's right.
Thank you, Steph. I appreciate that.
Thank you, Steph.
Oh, Pasta Punk. Have you ever been to Oklahoma City and have any recommendation? I'm headed there later this month. I have not been. I have never been to Oklahoma.
I've been to Oklahoma, but I was a child, so I can't help. But you know what, Kathy Walters, weigh in, write to Pasta Punk and see if you can give some recommendations, because I know you have eggy hiccups.
See, look, Mark Finley agrees. 70 in the house. If that happens here, that means AC's broke. Yeah. So eggy hiccups. This is a good one. Any good expat U.S. expat communities in Europe? So they've got so much U.S. expat stuff. It's like the U.S. expat stuff is more like where there's the bases and stuff.
When you have NATO or U.S. bases.
Yeah, but if you're looking at like you can find U.S. groups in Lisbon, you can find U.S. groups in London, you can find them in Paris, but usually the expat communities are just expats.
It's all of us.
It's
like I joined a ladies group. It was sort of like a junior league type group, if you will, in Lisbon, and I think I was the only American, but I got to be really great friends with a Danish woman who was probably 30 years my senior, but she and I just hit it off, and Got to know a lot of different women from different places, and that is part of like the coolest thing being an expat, is not just living one culture but getting to know people from a whole bunch of other cultures.
So Potato asks, what's your favorite place in Arizona?
Tucson.
It's where she grew up when she was a kid. So
yes,
I like Grand Canyon, and I liked Flagstaff. I like Flagstaff a lot.
Flagstaff's that would probably be my second, to be honest.
Oh, Emily, thank you. It's very nice of you.
Thanks, Emily.
Oh, Zane Dixon, thank you very much for the super chat. Hi, Mark. Love your channel. I'm doing a Ukraine-Greece trip. Very cool. Any recommendations for the Peloponnese besides the obvious sites? I mean, I'm a Naphthio guy myself. Ethio's also was really good. That was a nice surprise spot.
Ethio's, my dad's favorite ice cream place is there. Couldn't tell you. I could walk you there, but I don't know the name or anything.
Yeah, you were.
Monovasia is really cool, and I think everyone kind of does Monovasia maybe, but don't miss it because it really is worth it. Trying to think, there was that other little town that Dad took me to, but I think what I love about the Peloponnese is that it's like a lot of really small places and these communities of people who've been there for literally eons. And you get to really experience Greek culture in a very authentic way when you're there.
So, Liz, please tell me Liam was the first baby to name in Portugal. He might have been.
Maybe. We could have named him Joao and made it easy.
True.
We're not easy.
Yeah, we're not easy. Well, I still had to prove that Walters is a real name in America,
English.
In the U.S. It's like, Brent, wow, hey guys, great to run into tonight. Yeah, good
nice
to see you, buddy.
The gals right there.
If you had a few extra days in Britain in late October, where would you go? We already have doing York, London, and all the usual side trips. I would either go to Bath. That would be one.
What about this?
The Peak District was nice. Lake District's nice.
Wales.
Yeah, you can do Wales.
Freaking love Wales.
Yeah.
Like I'm a big, huge, fat fan of Wales. Wales, because when I said big, fat, freaking fan of Wales, it made me think.
Made you think of me?
No.
Wow.
About Wales and the
Boy, Amazon's gonna love us. Sit there and you're like, oh hey, and then a little whale thing will come by. Buy the whale.
We'll sell you whale floaties.
There you go. Let's see. Supreme Travelers. Hi there. How much in advance to book Caribbean flights at Christmas? I would
as soon as possible.
Now. Like I honestly, I was finding that all
10 months out.
Thanksgiving stuff is already sold out. Those and not just your flights. Once you get your flight, get your flights and then book your accommodation right away, or get your accommodation when you know you can get something. Because I mean, this stuff is already, especially for this year. I mean, I was having a tough time. Like, we might just chill out at home for Christmas this year because, I mean, I was having a tough time finding stuff. So there's one thing there.
Sorry,
Tom Shane, my friend, helped me out with some ideas for Pennsylvania, Ohio. Thanks, buddy.
Liam is at our Brazilian neighbor's house having good Brazilian food without us.
Oh, this chat's flying. It's so much weirder, like doing this on StreamYard like that thing than the usual one, because I don't know what's up there. Nick Barnett's here. Hopefully we get to see you up in the Northeast when we're there this summer, my friend. Oh, Stuart, get your behind to sleep. Go.
Oh, really? It's ridiculous late for you.
I know. Marjorie, hi, cutest family on the internet.
Aw, you're sweet and such a sweet liar.
I know.
Marjorie says, have you been to Oregon?
That is one of the 5 states I've not been to.
I was there as a very young child. I don't count Oregon. I'm sorry. I wish we could help you, especially since you think we're cute.
Chris Bates, a good friend, a helpful guy. Always appreciate when he comes in here. What place did you go to that you thought might be a dud but surprised you as a place that you want to revisit? I don't know if there's a place I thought would be a dud, but a place I was really surprised how much I liked and want to go back.
I've been surprised at how much I didn't like places.
Yeah, that's true.
Because you go in with these expectations and you're like, dang, that wasn't what I expected.
Yeah, but then there's places like, for me, and the ones that like I was so much more impressed by, I want to go back. Rwanda. The first time I went to Portugal, I mean, that's why I ended up moving there. Like, so I'm like, this was so much more than I expected. The people and everything, that was awesome. Nicaragua was like a great surprise.
I was going to say, Nika, I didn't expect it to be as
great as it was.
To love it quite as much as I did. I thought it was going to be fun and cool, but it was like astounding. Can't think of what else.
Oh, it's giving me the repeat thing again. I've got my favorite part about it. Oh, favorite part about Arizona versus favorite town in Arizona.
What is
Let's
that?
see. Logan David. Hi, Mark and Jocelyn. I just wanted to say I don't even have any opportunities to travel. I'm in college. You will eventually, my friend. Don't worry. But I still love watching your videos. Keep up the good work. Thanks,
Thank
Logan.
you.
Appreciate it, man.
I felt the same way when I was in college, and I had friends who were traveling, and I was like the most jealous human on earth. But I'm making up for it now.
Inside Lauren's brain, I'm so disappointed in myself. There was a Lithuanian restaurant near me and it closed due to COVID. I didn't get to go.
That sucks.
There used to be a poutine place too. That's double whammy right there. I'm sorry.
Thomas Reiser.
Thomas Reiser, another superhero.
Yes, another superhero. Thanks for Charleston tips. Any tips for Savannah? So Thomas, we have like a gazillion and one videos made in Savannah. But I lived there for, a long time, and oh God, I have so many. So
okay, Thomas, take a trolley tour. That
on your first day.
On your first day,
like an on-off. Get the on-off pass so you can kind of see things.
Yeah. Or you can go all the way through one time.
Yeah, but if something intrigues you, then you can get off and go see it, or you can just visit it later at your own leisure. But the tour guides in Savannah literally have a test on a book this thick. Can you see how thick that is? Like the book is like 4 inches thick. It's insane. And they have to be tested to be a qualified guide in the city, like everybody. So you'll get really good information from them. If you want some like specific restaurants and things like that, write me in the superheroes thing and we'll talk about that. Okay.
So there's one. Chris Fields is asking about San Diego do's and must-sees. Also rental car, yes or no? No rental cars. You don't need to do it. There's plenty of Ubers everywhere. It'll save you money. And I mean, they take. It was the first place I went where they took credit cards at the parking meters because it costs a bit much. Gaslight District's always nice to go out. Actually, I have a don'ts of San Diego video and an eats of San Diego video that will give you everything you've ever wanted to know and everything I have on there.
Hola, gato.
Yeah, gato from Boca. Yes.
Like that.
I remember I got in trouble because I had my Boca shirt and the people like River. I'm like Boca. So there's that. Let's see.
I just need to say this. Jim said skip the boiled peanuts. Jim, you might be crazy. That's all.
Boo, Jim.
We are boiled peanuts fans in this house.
It took me a while. I didn't know what the heck I was supposed to do with it, but eventually I figured out and liked it. Jackson, love your channel. Thank you very much. My girlfriend and I are planning a multi-country trip to Europe for a couple of weeks in mid-August. Any suggestions? Right now, see who's going to be open. I don't know if you're coming from the U.S. going. I would definitely plan like close together if you're looking at different country things, just because the flights and the trains might be open, or might be a little bit easier to go through.
We've preached this throughout this whole thing for over an hour. Be very aware of COVID restrictions and, whatever, and be aware that they're going to be changing. So you need to check on those things constantly and be ready for it.
Yes. And Dudley Durite agrees with Jocelyn. Reese's eggs are the best. Yes.
Dudley, you're such a brilliant man.
M. Kara, thank you very much for the super chat. Can you recommend other cities to visit in France besides Paris? Yes, Bordeaux. Very few people. I mean, people go there, like French people go there in the summer, but a lot of people don't because it's kind of like the end of the France line, and that's why a lot of people aren't going. It's like, oh, well, you have to go back or something. So Bordeaux is a great one.
Cool, like channels to go on boats too, but we didn't get to do that.
That's Strasbourg.
No. Outside, like
outside, yeah, there is.
It's
right.
Not in the city, but I think that would be really cool.
And I have a Shocks of Bordeaux video that's already out. I need to put out the Don'ts of Bordeaux. That's one. Strasbourg's another one on the other side of the country. It's really good. If you go up to Normandy, Rouen is really nice.
Roun's cool.
And then you can go and check out the Normandy beaches. Avignon, we have videos on Avignon, top 10 sites in 511 Avignon. That's my favorite in Provence. That's my favorite one there. Marseille, don't waste your time on Marseille.
Or Nice.
Yeah, that's not worth it.
Neither of those to me are things that I would go back to. Maybe those are those duds that like you expect to be good and they weren't. I really like the Loire Valley because that's where there's a huge concentration of chateau there. And that's really cool to see, especially the one where Da Vinci died. That was awesome to me.
Yeah. The Loire Valley stuff. So Michael, traveling the world. I'm thinking about doing France next year. I was wondering whether Versailles or Fontainebleau is the better day trip from Paris. Okay, Versailles is, for those of you who don't know, Fontainebleau was the palace that the kings of France used before Versailles was built. So, it's opulent of itself, but it's older. I've been to both. I liked them both. I thought Fontainebleau, because fewer tours go there, was a lot more manageable, and there wasn't as many people like shoving through as in Versailles. Versailles Palace is a more spectacular palace and more spectacular gardens. But if you're looking for like,
but you might have to throw elbows.
Yeah, and so that's why I like Fontainebleau.
But also, I wonder what that's going to be like. I don't know how.
I don't know.
That'll be next year anyway.
So David has a really good point.
Nancy.
Nancy, France is another great town. I'm supposed to go there with my mom. Thank you, David. I had totally forgot about that one, and that is also a great town to go to. Great city to go to. Nico, it's okay. We still love you, buddy.
Huh. Okay.
Let's see.
There's that one.
So Shiv is asking, hey, Mark, like your vids? Just curious. India is one of the only major countries you have not been to. I'm sure you can make videos there, especially Moshag, etc. Do you have plans to visit? We do have plans to visit. That is one of the places we want to do more than a month. We want to look about a 2-month thing, but I need to lose about 100 pounds before I can do India in July and August. So that might probably be, I think we'll probably be doing a month one over the Christmas holiday. So it is on our list. Originally, I think was that a 2022?
I think that was supposed to be 2022. And we have a lot of connections with people in India. Mark has a couple students. We fostered a child whose family lives in India. So we've gotten to know a lot of people, and we all kind of feel like we get some really great local input too, which is, I think, important.
So Turtley Taco, random question for anyone, but do y'all know if you can take a Nintendo Switch on a plane? Yes.
Oh, heck yes.
Oh, yes, you can. Liam takes it all the time. And
it's great because 2 kids can play.
And the Switch plugs, because it's that USB 3 or whatever plug, USB-C or whatever, that thing works fine. So yes, we've taken that. We've taken that. Travel there be. Hi, Mark and Johnson. What's your next trip?
Northeast mostly.
Ohio too.
Ohio. We're gonna get some of the Midwest, and we're gonna just take a road trip. And we're seeing different places on a similar journey, if you will, than what we've done before. So Yep.
Francis wants to know top 5 best Christmas markets. I know, but I'm crazy for Christmas and must see the best. For me, if you're looking outside of Germany, because I think Germany does a great job. Austria does a good job. If you're at Salzburg in Austria, Prague in the Czech Republic is really good. I would say the Harz Mountains, Quedlinburg in the Harz Mountains on the weekends, they have Christmas in the courtyards, and so like the buildings open up, and so you can go and there's like extra Christmas markets inside the buildings as well.
And
that's
those
a great
are
one.
So
those are
you
super,
feel like you step back in time.
Yeah,
and it's so neat.
It's so neat.
Special.
Other places, Lüneburg was nice. It's another one of those cute towns. Bamberg was, I like Bamberg because they had 3 different ones. They had like the new one with rides, and then they had like the kind of traditional one, and then they had like the medieval one up by the Michael's Church, St. Michael's. So that was cool.
Okay, hang on. Mary Ellen was in India in August and September, and said it was crazy hot and humid. I can only imagine this. I actually laughed out loud just a second ago. I kind of snorted. Me and Annette said, do you know how bikeable Lisbon is?
It's not.
You couldn't pay me to ride a bike in Lisbon at all. Maybe down the hill.
It's a city of 7 hills, and they're very steep hills. I had a butt like you wouldn't believe when I lived there, because it was 5 years of walking up those hills.
And then we had Caleb there when he was little, and we're pushing him up and down in a stroller. And then we had baby Liam on top of it, and we wore baby Liam and pushed Caleb in a stroller sometimes. It was stupid hard.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so not.
So Turtley, hey, have you ever been to Cancun? Go and see if, how was it? Now, I don't know how it is now. I know people are still going there and enjoying it. We've had a lot of friends that have gone during COVID to go down there, and they've had a good time. It was just fewer people. We've had a good time. We enjoyed it. I mean, it's very much a vacation destination, but remember, there is historic stuff you can go see there. You can go to Chichen Itza, you go to Tulum. I mean, you can go to Isla Mujeres and go snorkeling. So there's a lot of stuff you can do.
Abner, do you guys have any videos of Nicaragua? We do.
Yeah, there's a Dunce in Nicaragua, Shocks in Nicaragua. I think I have a What's to Eat in Nicaragua. What's Never Forget Nicaragua. Yeah, that's in there, I'm sure, somewhere too. There's one just on Granada, Nicaragua. There's one on San Juan del Sur of Nicaragua. So we've got a bunch. If you couldn't tell, we really enjoyed ourselves.
Hello.
Briggs here. He's trying to close the feed. He's putting his nose up on the thing.
He is. That's why he's pulling his head back.
Let's see. Brig. Oh, I totally bye, Elwood. Oh, I totally slimed me. Brig. I know.
Bye, Elwood. Have a good night.
You're just a little puppy that just doesn't get any love. Poor puppy.
He's shedding like a mofo. And you're just making the fur fly.
Oh, as Lori Sims, yes, thank you. Mad Healer, good to see you, my friend. And as Lori Sims says, please do hit that thumbs up button, the like button. It does make a difference. We do really appreciate it.
Indigo says the cenotes in Mexico. I have to agree. That was one of my favorite things about going to.
So every time I dive into a cenote, I always lose the key to my locker. Every time. It's a gift I have. Diego in Montevideo, good to see you. Tips about Charleston: it's more walking around the Battery. Lots of good places to eat. Watch your ankles. But you're in Montevideo, you'll be fine. Just trip over the
Montevideo is a cool city. We enjoyed our time there very much.
Hey, Turley Taco, thank you so much for subscribing. We really appreciate it. Rick,
that's awesome.
We put out new travel videos every Wednesday and Saturday. And if it's a Wednesday like this, when I'm like totally swamped with work, I sometimes I'll just do a live feed instead. Oh, and by the way, for the live feeds for the next couple months, we're actually going to be doing those Amazon.com/shop/Waltersworld. We'll be doing them on there just so we can have more of them there. And because YouTube doesn't work well with live on YouTube.
We're trying something new. We're hoping that it will work a little bit better than some of the things with the YouTube Live has.
Yeah, and then hopefully be able to get maybe on Amazon.
I think there's dog hair in my nose.
There's some in my mouth. Anyway, Costa's World of Music Memories. I do not know when Southeast Asia is opening. I got some friends that have been stuck in Mexico. They're trying to get back to Thailand, and they're just hoping for the fall. So there is that.
I think you have some students who got stuck here and haven't been back.
Yeah, well, we have had that too.
Yeah.
So Rick Steve just made a show in Lyon, and he said it's a great city that's worth visiting. Do you agree?
I disagree.
Lyon's
fine. It's fine.
It's fine. No, it's fine. I mean,
it's not bad. It's just not my jam.
Yeah, I like those other ones better. Yes, Rusty Shackelford. So if only there was a place I could buy a church with it.
Thanks, Rusty. Love you. Can we get a picture of that?
Hold on. Let's see if I can find it. Waltersworld.store. Because our store is, but you got to go to all apparel. No, casual. I think it's theme shirts. Hold on. There it is.
There it is. The girls one's so much cuter than the boys one.
I'll just go back to that. I'll do this. And then, hold on.
How do you share that?
Well, luckily, I know how to, and so I'm going to show. So if you go to waltersworld.store, you can actually get Chichen Itza. It says, but not chicken pizza.
Because I drew that.
You did.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see if I can zoom in on it here in a sec. There you go. It's not chicken pizza.
Uh-huh.
So there you go. Chichen Itza. Oh, dang it. It's right below the thing.
A long time either.
I know.
You know.
So there's one you can get, not chicken pizza. See, it's like Rusty knew. It's like you knew. Anyway,
greetings from Canada.
Calvin. Okay, hi Calvin. Greetings from Canada. I'm thinking of doing a cruise in a year or two after COVID restrictions lift. What's your favorite cruise line? I don't cruise enough to say what my favorite cruise line is. I know my mom and dad cruise a lot, and they like Circle Line. I've talked to a lot of Brits. They like, is it MBO?
But where are you planning on cruising? Are you cruising in Europe? Or are you cruising the Caribbean? Because that would make a big difference, I think. Although Norwegian does both. I know that there aren't a lot that do like big Caribbean things and then also do the smaller like river cruises and stuff of Europe. So, but I think Norwegian does both.
Hey, Mia, you guys put up, we did have the Shut Up Mark shirts. That was on Teespring. That was one, like, I can't find it now because Teespring.
Bye, Scorpio Sue.
So I don't have it right now, but we're looking to redo some of our stuff. So there'll be a Shut Up Mark on the normal store. So that will be coming back soon. So
Lori S. asked, how do you follow on Amazon Prime? Just up above Calvin's?
How do you? Okay, so if you go to, hold on, let me switch this thing around. So Hold on, let me show. Go to your. Okay, so hold on. I gotta do something really real quick. Sorry.
We're working on
I'm working
it.
on it. So if you look on here, you see where it says Walter's World. If you go to that Amazon.com/shop/Walter's World, you'll see where right there, where our picture is together, where it says Walter's World, and there's the check mark. There's it says following. I'm following myself. You go there and click following. There's that. When we're live on there, when we're live and like how our picture shows up, there's a follow button you can just click because they don't do subscribe, they do follow. So that will be up on there. So you can go there and follow that. And the thing is, if you ever buy from Amazon, you already have an Amazon account, so it's already there, so you don't have to worry about that. And their lives have the same chat features like this. Yeah.
No, go on. I was clearing my
So
throat.
there's that. So I'm still working on it, so it'll look prettier. But her face is there, and I put a better picture of me.
That is the worst
myself.
Picture of me ever.
I think look
so
at
much.
Your hair looks gorgeous. It was hard to find stuff that works on this computer that I had. So yeah, okay, this
Paul
one.
Snyder.
Okay, the one on the far side. Yeah, okay, that's horrible.
Paul Snyder.
Paul Snyder. What about Paul Snyder?
To Sam Sanders. Greece was my first international trip. Guess what? It was my first sort of international trip. I'd been to Mexico, but we used to just cross the border when we lived in Arizona. But my big first international trip was there.
Poutine. I'm going to say it's poutine. Poutine is hard to get anywhere. You got to be in a special place for that.
You got to be in Canada because they do the poutine.
Yes. Yeah, anyway, do you? Though it is in more upscale pubs now. I'm starting to see it more around the world.
But that wasn't.
I know, but I'm saying it was poutine. I'm saying it was poutine, just spelled wrong. I mean, none of us are English whizzes and know how to spell. Dang word. Anyway. Trini, thank you very much for the super chat.
Thanks,
do you think 2022 travel will return to 2019 levels for most of the world? Jocelyn, Mark, great to see you guys again. Thanks so much. Yeah, Trini, I do.
And I disagree.
Well, it'll be close. How travel has come back, the numbers have come back so much right now this summer makes me think that it's going to come back because some people are saying 2026 or 7.
Well, I don't think it'll be that long.
I don't think it'll be that long. I think 2022 definitely by 2023. But I think 2022, the people that weren't sure will definitely be traveling then. So I don't think it's going to go like above 2019, but I think it'll be like close enough. Like, oh, we're down 10%, we're up 2%. I think it'll be around that.
I think it's going to be a little low. And my personal thing is that there are a lot of places that didn't make it through. So I think that it's going to be more difficult to get as many people into a place because there won't be as much accommodation and things like that. That's my opinion.
Yeah, and there's a lot of places that have closed down, so it's just going to be more difficult. Like places like Germany, like if you want to sit down in an outdoor like cafe in Germany right now, you have to have a PCR test. Otherwise, you can't sit down. So, Carol's looking to go to Germany in November. We wanted to go there for the end of November, to see the beginning of the Christmas markets, but with the restrictions, we decided to go to a different country. So I don't know. It's hard to say. So David Finzi, ethnic roots, German, Scot, French.
Mine are Greek and Swiss German. They're from Switzerland, but from the German. But actually, it's funny because they have a German last name, but they live in the Italian region of Switzerland.
It's like
but German names. So yeah, or whatever.
Yeah.
Swiss and Greek.
Yeah, thank you, Michael Bowman, for the sticker.
Thank you.
So it doesn't show up on here, so I can't see what sticker it was.
So somebody was saying, I think Grace maybe.
That's for hidden gems.
Hidden gems of Savannah. So one of my favorite places is Alligator Soul. As far as restaurant, they often have live music. 1790 has a great little bar. People go there to eat, but they have a great little bar on the side that not everyone knows about. And also the Pink House. Everyone goes to the Pink House, but if you go down to the downstairs, they have often live piano music. And so those are kind of like things that are where you would think to go, but a little off. Also, let's talk about so there's the Railroad Museum and all that, but oh shoot, I'm going to get it wrong. Pinpoint Heritage. So anyway, it's where there was like a lot of canning that happened, and that doesn't sound really amazing, but there is a lot of really great Black heritage in this one area, and Coastal Heritage Society, who I used to work for, is now overseeing Pinpoint, and there's just
cool.
some really neat stuff happening there, and you can like learn a lot about a culture that is intrinsically there, and I think that would be a cool place to see.
So Steven Copos, you guys should do a New Mexico episode. You mean New Mexico the state or New Mexico as the country? Because we can do either one. I'd be happy to do that. Mona Lisa da Vinci, PCR. It's just a type of COVID test. So is that?
It's the rapid one.
So Ben had a couple questions like, what about Seattle? He's going to be in Vancouver. I actually like Seattle better than Vancouver. I thought Vancouver's been a letdown. To be honest, I like Seattle better. So I would recommend that one over.
Anthony Josh, right below that. It jumped. Okay. I'm traveling to Iceland next Saturday. Any recommendations, such as renting a car, how to view the volcano, midnight sunset, etc.? Yo, you should have already rented that car. You're going to have a hell of a time getting one. But if you don't, there are a lot of different tour groups that will drive you to those places so you can see the volcano or the geyser and all those kinds of things. Midnight sun just happens. I remember when we were there, and I'm like,
yeah, Liam's like, I don't have to go to sleep. The sun's still out. I'm like, it's 3 a.m. Sun's still out. I'm like, go to bed.
And I'm like, I'm getting a little hungry, and I look down, and it's 11 o'clock at night. I'm like, son of a gun, I'm starving, So that'll just happen. If you can drive a stick, you may have a little tiny bit more luck getting a car rental.
So Valerie, thank you for the super chat, but I can't discuss that. So I'm not going to. Going to the movies. Thank you very much for the super chat. Just got married a few days ago. Congratulations, but had to postpone the honeymoon to Germany. Dang it. Went to Helen, Georgia. Hey, that will hold you over for a bit. It'll be our first trip to the European Union. That's awesome. So when we can go and you can get there, it'll be a fun time.
Congratulations.
I'm very happy. Congratulations. Let's see. Yeah, right. Yeah. Ontario, there's still lockdowns going on.
Yep. Lazy Ace.
So Lazy Ace, we're going to finish off with this one because it's been a fun super. It's been fun. It's been super. It's been cool. But I'm tired. And I'm just.
It's okay, baby.
So I have work. I have to grade 50 students' projects. And I didn't know I was going to have this many students in my summer course. So, and there's 3 essays that I haven't read yet. So.
What an idiot makes that many
essays.
Well,
we only had like 20 students last time, so it was okay. And this time we only had 17, and then we got an extra 35.
That's because you're such a big stud and everyone wants to take a class.
That's what you say. Ba-dum-bum. Anyway, Lazy Ace looking to travel to Belize as a possible drive there from North America, obviously not to the islands, but to the coast, and then take a ferry to the Keys. A lot of people think they want to drive from Alaska down to Ushuaia in the Tierra del Fuego in Argentina.
Many fewer people have actually done it.
Yes, and a lot of people just kind of give up. You can.
That is not for the
You technically can. However, safety-wise, I would not recommend it.
It is not for the faint of heart.
Oh, wait. We have to do this one.
Okay.
Frank Nitty, do you have any tips on traveling with newborn, going to Florida to visit Ren? In mid-July, she'll be 3 months. They're easy to travel with at that age.
Oh my gosh! So traveling with a newborn, especially if you're, and one more that I need to say something about, especially if your wife or the mother is breastfeeding, makes it even easier because literally you put them in that baby Bjorn thing and you like whip it out and throw a towel or whatever if you're uncomfortable and feed them. Liam went everywhere that way. I mean, we literally took him everywhere because they sleep whenever it's not like a toddler that you have to coerce into sleep. Babies that age just do it. So go do it. It's pretty easy.
And people will love you because you got a baby. They're like, you go first. Well, I guess it's Florida. They're not as big, but like Italy, we were there and they're like, stop.
They gave us the
babies
world on a platter.
Oh yeah, they're like 500 people in line. Like the ladies at the TSA.
He's going to have another baby.
They're like no one's. And these ladies come and they're like, Please go with us. They're like,
oh, they just want to take the
yeah,
baby.
they're like, we'll hold the baby while you go through security. We'll carry the baby through security because we're okay. So,
It was awesome.
It was awesome.
So
It was awesome.
I want to say hello to my friend Chantal from Growing Up Without Borders. Chantal her family is Swiss and Canadian, and yes, we are cousins, sister, and sisters.
And you check out their channel because they've taken their kids to about 200.
It's like, well over 100.
I think a million countries. I think they've been to a million countries. They got 3 wonderful daughters that are fun. They play along too, and they have a good times. And you really get to see what it's like to really live abroad and travel abroad with the family all the time. So
that's a cool one. So
yes.
Nice to see y'all. I think we're gonna get about to go.
Hi,
Oh,
Dizzy.
Dizzy, nice to see you. Sorry, we're turning off now because we've been on for an hour and a half. An hour and a half. Same thing, right?
As Jess says, note to self: have a fake baby.
Have a fake baby. God.
Sorry.
Oh my gosh.
The perks. There he goes. The perks of having a fake baby.
Oh, the perks of having one. Okay.
All right, everybody. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day. Have a wonderful evening wherever you're at. Oh, I got to say that. Got a bunch of super chats. I can't say bye without that one.
Thank you.
Thanks to the Boise Tips. Had a great holiday weekend. Shoshone is beautiful. It is.
Shoshone's cool.
For people looking for a state you never thought you'd love, Idaho is right there.
Totally unexpected.
So, and then again, Matt Healer of Windhurst. So what you need to do is if you go to amazon.com/shop/Waltersworld, this is what will show up. And then if you look, see my picture down there?
Just to the
right to it, there's a blue check mark, right? And it says following. It'll say follow, and you just click that. And I will send out links when we go live so you can be there. And then when we're live, you can click follow on there too. Amazon Live is not as intuitive as YouTube or the other ones. Like I was talking today and I'm like, I've never heard of this until yesterday. They're like, yeah, we're really new. We're learning. I'm like, yeah, like you guys could use some help. So,
but you know what? It's kind of fun to get in on the ground level of things like that and try them out and learn. And we would love to hear back from you guys if you do follow us and so we can learn all that stuff from y'all too. So good night.
Good night, everybody. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mark Finley, for putting that link up there. I appreciate it.
Thanks to all our moderators. We can't see what got moderated with StreamYard, so hopefully they did a good job. Wish you all the best. And we'll say bye, everybody.
Bye, y'all.